And now, you get, again, Hamas is the one committing the war crimes, but the focus has got to be on Israel now. In the same way that now you have MSNBC running a death toll graphic that is joint. It's joint. They're not distinguishing between the Israelis and those killed in Gaza. They just want to sort of say, my God, see how many people have died? It needs to end. That's why they're doing it together. See, it needs to end. This is terrible. Look how many people have died. This is an atrocity over there. Just like the rest of MSNBC's coverage, which includes Ali Velshi, this Ayman Mohiuddin. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. I've seen him in the past. I don't know him. But I'll just give you a flavor for their reporting on this. Here's Ali Velshi.
We've had a lot of statements from Americans, mostly Republicans this morning, but some Democrats who it's a bit boilerplate. There's no nuance or recognition of anything that has been going on. Lots of Palestinians have said to me, boy, they wish that those same Israelis who were out there protesting the so-called judicial reforms would be protesting Israel's inhumane treatment of the Palestinians who live under Israeli occupation.
Oh, my God. Okay. Before I move on, just let me get Ayman's quote in, and then we can talk about both of them. SOT 25.
But Hamas is saying, well, if nobody is able to defend what is happening for Palestinians in the West Bank or in East Jerusalem with the home demolitions, the arrests, the children being killed, the desecration of holy sites, if they're unable to do that, then we only have the ability to do it with military might and crude weapons and military. What we're seeing today are very deadly consequences of failed policies, failure on the American administration's part to change course, to take a different course of action with how it deals with the Palestinians and the Israelis, failure on Israel's part, failure on the region's part, to not be able to say, this is an issue that matters.
Okay, got it, Emily? It's our fault, and it's the Israelis' fault. And when he gets to the part where he should say it's Hamas's fault, he says it's the region's, the region's fault. That's who's to blame. And Hamas really was just kind of forced to go military here because of all the strife that it has suffered. Poor Hamas in Gaza. That's just not factual. That is absolute Hamas propaganda.
I think a lot of people remember in the years after 9/11, but also, I mean, and this is where the point really comes in, the days after 9/11, people were not at that point saying, most people were not, certainly not on cable news, at least that I remember, although I was very young, having conversations about the United States and the Mujahideen in Afghanistan and Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden during the Cold War. That came later. And it's an entirely reasonable conversation to have about American Cold War policy radicalizing. People like Osama bin Laden are contributing to the radicalization in areas like that through the Mujahideen, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I think these conversations are entirely reasonable. I bitterly disagree with what both of them just said. And actually, Ali Velshi took the opportunity in the days after Israel, again, suffered mass targeted slaughter to smear Israel falsely as an apartheid state on the airwaves of MSNBC. And there's been some reporting that MSNBC has not wanted to have all of these people forward facing in the days after because of this. And if you watch CNN, Dana Bash has been fairly pro-Israel. Andrea Mitchell on MSNBC has been fairly pro-Israel. Like, some of the media is really polarized on this. I think MSNBC should put these guys out in the air as much as they possibly can so that the arguments can be exposed for the weaknesses that they are based upon. Is the same thing with the college students. I mean, now there's a question of whether a private company, a media company like MSNBC wants to be associated with that for public relations reasons. But at the same time, I mean, I think by all means that they should have these conversations. I think that's why Rising is great, by the way, so that Robbie and Brie can yell at each other. You can see Robbie's sort of righteous indignation in that moment. You can hear the arguments be fleshed out, because that is a very, very weak argument in the days. You're bringing, pretty weak argumentation to the table within days. And it's the last thing I wanted to say was that death counter on MSNBC. That's actually really interesting, because I am completely 100% fine with doing that if, and only if, they are saying that it was the fault of Hamas, that all of these civilian casualties are the fault of Hamas, because they 1000% are the fault of Hamas. So if they're going to do that, fine. But they're not, as the clips just showed.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't want to silence the voices. I'm just not going to hire them. And it's not my cup of tea. I wouldn't be caught dead watching that show. Right. It was good when like Crystal, I watched a little. No, I wouldn't be caught dead watching. That is not informative. And I don't think it's, well, whatever. I'll just leave it at that. This show is supported by Grand Canyon University. Founded in 1949, GCU is a private Christian university that's dedicated to delivering an affordable and transformative higher education. Their vibrant campus is located in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. And according to niche.com, it's ranked a top 25 best campus in the country. As of June 2023, GCU offers 330 academic programs with over 270 of them online, allowing you the freedom to earn your degree on your time from wherever you are. Their programs are also designed to challenge and inspire you. At GCU, your degree, whether it's a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, integrates the free market system and a welcoming Christian worldview. And they believe that higher education should be accessible to all. Learn more about GCU's programs, competitive tuition rates, and scholarship offers from your university counselor. They're part of the supportive graduation team that's going to take a personalized approach to helping you achieve your academic goals, walking next to you every step of the way. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University, private, Christian, affordable. For more info or to enroll, visit gcu.edu. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.